Welcome to Monoreel Radio Dockside Chat number 33. I'm Sean.
And I'm Jackie.
And we are coming to you live from a very comfortable Disney Springs. It is comfortable for so many reasons.
You are underselling. It is picturesque, more so than I thought it was going to be today. Last week was our first week hitting into the 80s, and I really thought that we were going to be locked into those higher temperatures from here on out, and not that I wasn't ready for it, but I was pleasantly surprised when we had another week of 70s and 60s at night, so I'm just relishing in this gorgeous weather right now. It's absolutely beautiful. And surprisingly not too crowded here.
No, I anticipated it would be crazy because today, at the time of this recording, it is Monday, President's Day. So I thought for certain it was going to be mobbed. I was really surprised with how open the walkways were, especially because you're losing a main artery over by Raglan Road because they've closed off the pathway between the end of Raglan where the gift shop is over to Cooks of Dublin and the hole in the wall bar because they've torn up the concrete because they're finishing up Patty's Bar.
Right.
So they have a little temporary construction wall up, but even with that and with losing that main walkway, everything still feels very wide open.
It's worth noting, though, it wasn't that way during the entirety of building Patty's Bar.
Yeah.
They just had the construction wall off, and now I guess that they're finishing the landscaping, and if they had to go into the concrete at all...
Well, they're putting the plumbing in, you can
see. They've now closed off that entire area. But the construction wall is gone. It's just topiaries, which is nice to look at. And I'm sure they're going to be ready to go for St. Patty's Day proper, which is exciting. I think just from, having been in New York, we're so conditioned to think that this is such a busy time to travel. And it is, but I remember hearing about that a lot more in the Northeast, that people would be traveling south this week, to get to the warmer weather. But I felt like growing up, everybody always was going to Disney during President's Week. And now, since we've been down here, I feel like we always anticipate that, and it's never as bad as we think it's going to be. Like, I remember the first year my brother came to visit. He came in the middle of the week, and I picked him up from the airport because he had a later flight, and I took him here. And we were planning to go to the Polite Pig, and I was like, there's no way we're going to get a seat. And we did, right away, with no issues whatsoever. And I feel like that's such an anticipatory thing that it's going to be crowded, and it's never really that bad. The only thing that did feel crowded, surprisingly, was the line at Dockside. And I'm not going to be sorry about that because we always want to see people supporting our beloved Dockside because we never want it to go away.
Well, I've noticed a lot of people in their race gear. Yesterday was the Daytona 500. So I think you have a lot of people that are kicking off a vacation. A lot of people are doing grab and go. Because I don't see a lot of, for Disney, I don't see a lot of kids. This seems like it's a lot of adults today. So I'm wondering if these are people that are tagging on to a trip down to go see the race. Obviously, like I said, a lot of race gear here. And people seem like they're grabbing and going and enjoying a stroll and the beautiful weather and some shopping.
It's also leading into Princess next weekend, so I'm sure you get a lot of that crowd too, for sure.
Yeah, I think it's going to get busy towards the end of the weekend. Let's talk about our very delicious margaritas. We went with a couple of favorites. You went
golden standards.
Your seasonal favorite, Chipotle pineapple.
I guess it's double seasons because I did have this last time. I was very excited to see its return, and I'm never sorry to see it on the menu. So I don't mind that they have not switched out a February offering yet.
And I went back to the watermelon.
Been a minute
since I had it, and I was at Daytona yesterday. Let's just say I wanted something a little bit more fruit forward today.
The color of yours is really pretty.
Yeah, it's nice. Cheers.
Cheers.
Oh, that is good. That is not as fruit forward as I had expected. And that's why we keep coming back to Dockside Margaritas.
Speaking of margaritas, I suppose now is as good a time as any to offer you my public apology.
Oh, you're going to do that?
I wasn't because I was hoping that you didn't remember, but I don't feel right about it, so I guess I'll just fall on this sword. If you recall, at our last recording, I felt really bad because we had accidentally grabbed our Christmas straw charm from Hidden Mickey Supply Co. And it was our January episode, so we weren't that far off. It's not like we grabbed the jack-o'-lantern one. But I feel bad that we showcased the wrong product. And I thought that the whole reason was because you had grabbed the wrong ones out of the place that we keep them. And you had owned that.
Yeah, I fessed up to it. I fessed up to it, without any evidence supporting it.
You were looking at Walt, and you just reached in and you grabbed them, and then you passed them off to me. Well, as it turns out, it gets funnier.
Sure does.
I had still had our straw charms in my Loungefly from our December trip to the park, and I didn't realize that I had left them in there. So it was kind of like Schrodinger's cat, like it's either alive or dead, right? I reached in there and anything could have come out. And as it happened, you did give me the right straw charms. I just happened to pull the Christmas tree. So I apologize to Heather and Taylor, and I apologize to you. It's my fault.
I am glad that you have come clean and that we got that squared away. I'm also glad with our choice of programming for this month. So let's talk about what we've been watching.
Yes, because this is unusual for us. We've had time to start a new show. Still haven't caught up with any of the Star Wars stuff that we need to. That's just been kind of sitting there.
That's okay.
But this was one that we couldn't wait on, and I'm really glad that we dipped our toe in the water, because this is one of those things where it's such a great show that if, God forbid, it gets canceled, we're going to sit here and flip a table because nobody watched it. So I'm glad that we're participating and contributing to the ratings, because it's just so good.
We are talking about none other than Shifting Gears, the new vehicle for Tim Allen and for Kat Dennings. This show feels like a throwback.
1,000%. This feels like something that we would have grown up watching on TGIF. And I dare say it's the closest thing that we have and are going to have to the return of a multicam sitcom. The way that it's blocked out and the way that the set is, I love the set. That's, first of all, one of my favorite things about it. Their home, they live in a suburb of Los Angeles, so it's like that beautiful craftsman style home, which I just happen to love. But I absolutely love the set design for the house and for the shop that they work in. Tim Allen's character owns a car shop that rehabs classic cars and, puts new parts in them and brings them up to today's standards. It's a great premise. I love the way that they utilize his vocation for the show. But more than anything else, what I've really been enjoying about it, if you've seen the trailers, the conceit is that Kat Dennings' character is going through a divorce, so she has to move back home until she can get back on her feet, and she moves with her kids. So it's not just this clash of generations between her and her father. There's the issue that she was she was a young mother, and she ran off with a musician when she got pregnant. So there's a lot of conversations that they've just avoided having over the years. So now they're faced with them since she's living with him again. But it's not just the multi-generational clash. It's also they share or they don't share political views. They are on opposite sides of the spectrum, which is true to life, because Tim Allen has gotten himself in hot water with Disney over the years, recently, because he's very conservative. But the way that they bake that right into the writing is so brilliant, because it's balanced with Kat Dennings' very liberal character. So it makes for some really interesting conversations. I dare say it could even spark conversation if your own family is maybe dealing with these issues of being on opposite sides of the political spectrum.
Yeah, because they both walk away from it, and it's not I'm right, you're wrong, stubborn, and stamp your feet and walk away. They both walk away having learned something from the other. And I think the writing is brilliant. The comedic timing of the two of them is excellent. And Sean William Scott?
Oh, my God.
Where has he been?
I'm thrilled that he crawled out from the 90s rock that he's been hiding under, because this is like tailor-made for him, because it grieves me to say he's not a very versatile actor. He is still Stifler. He's just a clean Stifler, but that style works for the sitcom.
It does.
He's one of the best characters in it, honestly. And the entire cast is great, top to bottom. I'm very happy to see one of the Mighty Ducks from Game Changers landed on his feet. He's in this. The daughter is so cute. All of the coworkers in the car shot, like it's great. It's just really great, top to bottom. So, if you grew up on TGIF shows, highly, highly, highly cannot recommend this enough. And also, there is a correlation to TGIF because Daniel Fishel is directing some of these episodes. So, love to see that. None other than Topanga is in the director's chair, and we love to see a female director, so I really hope that this one sticks around.
Yes, give it some love. It's doing pretty well, but let's make sure that we can do what we can from the viewer's side to keep shows like this on television. You all want new and unique?
This is it.
Then you better watch it. But that is what we are watching. Now let's talk about what we have been up to here, living in Central Florida.
This episode is sponsored by Hidden Mickey Supply Co. Products include Disney and Pixar-inspired 3D straw charms, ornaments, and personalized photo nightlights. Listeners of Monoreel Radio can get a 10% discount using the code Monoreel10 at checkout. Visit Hidden Mickey Supply Co. on Instagram and Etsy to stay up to date on all of the new releases.
All right.
And pick the right ones.
Yeah, pick the right ones. So, the last time that we had spoken was previous to, with it being this time of year that it is, we do tend to get a lot of visitors, and we never take that for granted. We love the fact that people will come down and spend some time with us, and what's becoming more and more fun for us is a lot of our friends that do visit have their kids, so we get to kind of like experience Disney with them and their children. Sometimes it's for the first time, sometimes it's for the first time in a while, so the kid may not remember everything, but we got to experience that again just a few weeks ago.
I also love that it hasn't stopped, that this wasn't just our first year and everybody was coming down because they were excited to see the house. I love that we are still as busy almost 3 years in with people coming to see us, and it's not something that we ever take for granted, and we just, this is the best kind of busy, like there's nothing that brings me more joy than like making sure the house is like hospital clean and the guest room is all ready, and I love preparing the guest room for people to come and see us. It's just the most fun. And now
this just ended up on the highlight reel, by the way. Anytime I need to be like, well, remember, you love getting the guest room ready. You love having the house hospital clean. I have it recording.
He will do that. He will absolutely do that.
Of course I will.
Sean saves things and then hits me with them when I'm least expecting.
I love me a good receipt. Especially with the extended return policy. I love me a receipt.
Well, we did have our friends that, I mean, you've known your entire life. We talked about Boy Meets World before, like, this is the Sean to your Corey. You have known Andy since kindergarten, like your first day of kindergarten,
Yep.
Correct?
That is correct.
So, yes, our friends Andy and Anna and their daughter came down to visit us. I had the pleasure of planning their vacation. I had done their first vacation as a family of 3, but that was a couple of years ago. It was a little bit different now because their daughter is older and she is at the prime age. She loved princesses the first time, but now she's at the prime age where she's really going to remember more. So I booked them a princess room at Port Orleans, one of the Princess Tiana rooms. And I was so excited because, like, she's just the perfect age for it. And I also got to book them Bippity Boppity Boutique. So I was so excited for them to take this trip and to get to be like a tiny part of it and get to experience it with them. Because that's not something that as a vacation planner I get to do with everyone, where I'm actually crashing their trip and seeing their reaction as they go into their hotel room. So they were visiting family south of us, and they drove to the house. They got to see our house, And then we sort of caravanned out to Disney that night to Port Orleans. So we checked them into the room. I had no idea this was even a thing, that when you book one of the royal suites, you get a scroll personally written from Princess Tiana welcoming you to her. I
totally over the top.
Was so excited. I thought it was the cutest thing in the whole world. It's the nicest touch for staying in one of those rooms. And then the room just like blew me away, because it's not just Princess and the Frog. Like the headboards with the fireflies are absolutely stunning. They're gorgeous. It is worth the price of admission. But all of the other little Easter eggs of princesses and princes, and like they had the border on the top of the room with like all these different Disney characters, like Sebastian was in there, Gus or Jacques and Gus from Cinderella were in the border. Like there were just so many things to look at.
Yeah, there were. And the thing was, it wasn't only that, but the most impressive thing to me was the double sinks with the genie's lamp. I mean, like,
I had no idea that was in there.
Yeah, and of course you flick the light switch and the fireworks go off in the headboard. Like, the woodwork in the room was really, really nice on those headboards. But it was totally over the top. Really well done. And if you have a moderate, in your budget for a Disney trip, and you do have kids that are in that target age range where they really would get off on seeing something like that, this is something that really it has the wow factor. And I was excited to see you take that in, because I could see your wheels were just turning.
It was great just to see what the room looked like on my own, because we've visited the resort plenty of times at this point. We love going to Port Orleans, but like we typically go to Scat Cat when we visit. So we don't get to spend a lot of time on the other side. Like, we had just done boat rides for the first time last summer. So it was nice to be able to like go further back into the property and actually see it. It was so quiet and so relaxing where that section of the hotel is, because they're all in the Magnolia section. So you have to cross a bridge to get over to the main lobby. It was just, I want to spend so much more time there. It's just the most relaxing place to go. I absolutely loved it. But yeah, I mean, that was just a unique thing for me to be able to get to see the room. But more than anything else, it's just a reminder of why I love to do what I do, and be able to like create these kinds of moments. Like, I would have been happy to do it for our friends, even if I didn't get to see it. But like, seeing it just, it puts it on a whole nother level. So I was just really excited to be there. And then we did go to boat rides again. That way they could just get settled in for the night and hit the ground running at Magic Kingdom the next day. That boat rides is always great.
Everybody very happy with their meals.
Yeah. Service was great. I loved where we were seated, like up on the second tier.
Yep.
It was quiet. It was just really, really nice.
Yeah, everybody happy with what they got. I had done that barbecue platter, which was good. I would go back to the prime rib, which is what I suggested to Andy, and he loved it. I'm glad I tried something different. It was good, but not enough where I would go back and do that again. To me, it's the prime rib. I would get my fish again in a heartbeat, because last time I had the etouffee and it was good. It was a little hot for me. This time I got I think it was salmon. I think you're right.
It was salmon.
Yeah.
If not, it was a mahi
salmon
over rice. This was a while ago. This was almost a month ago, but I'm pretty sure it was salmon over rice. But I remember just loving it. The seasoning was great. The sauce was great. I liked it better than what I had the first time.
Right. Then we had more visitors. Your brother ended up being here visiting us.
What a whirlwind of a week. Because this was actually, oh wait, we're out of order here. So oh my goodness. This is why I'm frazzled. My brother actually flew in the weekend before Andy and Anna came to see us. He flew into Miami because there was a festival that he was going to with his friend. So his friend drove up from Miami with him. He stayed at our house at the beginning of the week, and then his friend picked him up on Wednesday so that we could turn the house over again because we had more visitors when Andy and Anna were coming that following weekend. But then after we saw Andy and Anna, we linked back up with my brother because it was his last night here. And we came over to Springs to meet up with him. And we went to the Lava Lounge at Rainforest Cafe, which it knows that we're speaking of it.
Yes.
Because it's ready to get... Here it goes. Oh, that is warm. It is warm enough where, like, that doesn't... I don't need to feel this cozy right now with the fire.
Well, we went to Lava Lounge, which had been a minute since we had gone to. We don't go there enough. We need to go to Lava Lounge more often.
It's great because the reason that we ended up there, well, there's two reasons, and we've not talked about one of them on the show yet, and I think it's definitely worth mentioning. First reason is that we, growing up on Long Island, the only Rainforest Cafe that we had besides the city, I think, was at Roosevelt Field Mall, and it had closed after a while, but he remembered, like, we never ate there, but, like, it was always, like, a memory of going to see my grandparents. If we would go to the mall with them, we would pass by it. So he was like, oh, I want to see if there's anything different inside. So we went in, we looked at the animatronics, and then we went to the lounge outside, which is just so nice. That stone wall right up against the water, like, it's just a really great and a surprisingly quiet place to grab a drink.
Yeah.
The other thing we've not talked about is that Rainforest Cafe, as well as T-Rex Cafe, are owned by the Landry's Restaurant Group.
Yeah.
So I will let you speak to that.
Yes. So, I am employed by Landry's. It's a wonderful company to work for. So if a lot of people don't realize how many restaurants that group owns. So it is noteworthy. Yak and Yeti. So it's noteworthy that if you are a Landry's member, because so many people do belong to that club, whether you got it at Del Frisco's or Morton's, et cetera, and so forth. Bubba Gump is another one. The Palms. So over at Universal, there's a few. If you have that card, you can use those cards at T-Rex, at Yak and Yeti, only at the restaurant, not at the quick serve. You can use it at Rainforest Cafe. So sort of wanted to, be a patron for a change and go back and enjoy Lava Lounge because it had been a few years since we gone there. And I would like to go back again. Today is not that day because we do have some other plans that we'll talk about in a few moments. But it's a great spot, and T-Rex is a great spot too. And we've talked about them on the show before, so this isn't just me patting the head of the corporate gods. Like, these are places we liked anyway. But it had been a minute, and because everything was so crowded that night, that was the spot that was very easy to get into because it is a hidden gem.
No, but from a travel advisor standpoint as well, I love recommending Landry's because if these are restaurants that you patronize on the regular, but you've never wanted to sign up for the rewards points, it's totally worth doing because you can use them here. Full disclosure, when you sign up, if you're not signed up already, you do have to, there's like a registration fee, but you get it back your first visit. So it's $25 to buy in, but you get $25 in points that you will get to use your first time. So if you have...
As long as you register the card. You have to register.
Yes, as long as you register the card. And then you start to accrue points that you can also use for rewards. So like, what I've started to do...
And it would be on your next visit.
Yes,
not
on your next
first visit.
Worth noting, on your next visit. But point being, if you frequent any of these restaurants, like Del Frisco's, like Bubba Gump, there's a whole myriad of them that they own on their website. You could start earning points for your next Disney trip for things that you're doing anyway. And
right.
I love stuff like that. Like, that's why I always recommend the Disney Visa. If you come down a lot, build up your points, and you can pay off your hotel with them. It's totally worth it. This is just another area where you can save some money. So what I've started doing, and I wasn't really able to do, when we first moved, the restaurant that you were working in was like a half hour away from the house. So like, I didn't love getting on 95 to come see you at night when you were behind the bar. Now you're behind the bar, I can come see you whenever I want, and I'm building all these points for when we come here. We have yet to go to Yak and Yeti, though. We
That's
need
on the
to
list.
do that. It is
It's
very
high on the
high on the
list.
list. But, if anybody has more questions about that, please do let us know. You can shoot us an email, and I'm happy to walk you through it, because if you have a trip coming up and this is, like I said, something you're doing anyway, it is 1,000% worth it.
Then we went and grabbed a snack and a nosh over at Boathouse. Boathouse is Boathouse. It is a staple. It is a favorite, and it is a good spot to go late night if you do need to get off your feet and have a little bite and a quick drink.
They always have a great beer selection, so we just had a quick nightcap, but our buddy Rob Volpe, better known as Piano Rob, was playing, so we got to see him a little bit. We were at the bar, and it was pretty crowded.
It was packed.
He was in
It
the
was
middle
late
of the
and it
set,
was
so
packed.
we really didn't get to say hi, other than when you went to throw a couple of bucks in the jar and say what's up to him. But that's always a great time, and it was also easy to do because it wasn't as crowded at that point in the night. It was busier than I thought it was going to be when we first got here, which is why we ended up at Lava Lounge. But toward the end of the night, it was definitely thinning out a little bit. Boathouse itself was crowded, but it was good to be able to just walk in, grab a drink at the bar, and be able to listen to the live music for like a half hour before we had to bounce out.
Yeah. The following weekend, we did something super cool.
Not the following weekend. It was the following day.
Oh, that's right. It was the following day. I can't keep track of this.
It was a jam-packed week.
So our friends Mike and Nicole, who you've heard on the show before, with their son Damien, they were here. You had booked them on they were taking a cruise out of Port Canaveral. They were taking Utopia.
They tacked the cruise on because they knew they were coming to see us.
Right.
This weekend, and that was a Christmas present that Mike gifted them.
So yeah,
Damien has been all he wanted to do was go to Coco Cay and ride the slides.
I mean, kids got it right.
Yeah.
I get it. We went and got tickets. All of us are big hockey fans. We got tickets to the Orlando Solar Bears,
Not just
ECHL.
Hockey fans. Damien is like a future hockey star. This kid is so good, and he's so polished at such a young age. It's absolutely insane. You tell him all the time. He's 30.
Yeah, he is.
To his face.
It is like hanging out with another 30-year-old.
It really is. And cooler than any of us.
Yeah, well, that's for sure. We got tickets to the Solar Bears. They were doing a food fest. They do it once a year, and it was a very reasonable price. I mean, after taxes and fees, $40 a head for a ticket to the game, club level, plus the food fest outside on the concourse, all you could eat, all you could drink. How do you say no?
What I was surprised at was I kind of thought it was going to work like Epcot, where because the price of admission was so low, we'd have to pay for food and drinks on top of it. Nope. All you care to enjoy. They didn't have a lot of booze, I will say that. They had a vodka sample and they had a beer sample. So a lot of the beer, it is right outside of the brewery, which is built into the Kia Center. So we did buy a couple of drinks before the game, but they were giving out plenty of samples at those locations, and they didn't care if you looped around and went back. All of the food was really great. Not too many local offerings. A lot of them were bigger chains like Sonny's Barbecue. Publix had samples. They had KFC,
Planet Smoothie,
Cadobo.
But it was still nice.
Just really nice. It was, it was preferable to buying stadium snacks inside.
Right. And the game itself was a ton of fun. I couldn't believe for lower minor league, because you have NHL, you have AHL, you have ECHL, the production value is NHL value.
Had I not known, I would have thought I was at an NHL game. Honestly, well, the funny thing is, being Islanders fans, and I say this with nothing but love, that
something
team
like that.
had an identity crisis for years, because they did very family-friendly games where they had the, entertainment between periods where they come out with the T-shirt cannons and, Sparky is great with the kids. But then that's juxtaposed with the Ice Girls who, God help them, they were told they had to weigh 90 pounds so that they could squeeze them into these skimpy outfits. And I was like, make up your mind. What are we doing here? So, this went on for years, even when they moved to the Barclays Center briefly, and now I think they really hit their stride as far as marketing goes with UBS Arena. But this felt like an NHL game, just simply because of the way that they cater to the fans, just the overall fan experience, and the overall branding with them. It's just, first of all, the venue's great. We've been there to see the Killers, and we absolutely loved it.
We've been there for the Magic.
Our tickets also, for that price, it's worth noting, we were on club level. Like, what?
Center ice.
It was unbelievable how much we got for how little money. Like, in New York, this easily would have been like $125 to $150
per person.
So we got the club level. The seats were great. We were almost center ice. The game was so good. The entertainment in between periods was so great. And these guys, I mean, they just play their heart out. I think part of it was just because I missed hockey so much that I enjoyed it so much, because even since we moved, we said, we're going to go back. We have to get Islander tickets. We have to get, but because we try and see so many people when we go home, it's not always the easiest to pull off a game. I missed hockey so much, and what blew me away was that I don't think I have ever seen a team score and then still fight when you got the celebration.
It's these guys are playing their hearts out, like you said. It's physical, it's passionate. What took me by surprise was the speed. I thought this was going to be a very slow-moving game. They skate almost to an NHL speed. It's faster than the AHL. I'll give it that. But they play with so much physicality. It's old-school hockey. It's what I grew up watching. It's what I wish the game still was. I bought that jersey. Might be the best hockey jersey on the planet. Honestly, it's a great uni.
You bought me a really cool shirt.
Like, I'm thinking,
it was great.
I'm all in.
Yeah.
I'm all in on the Solar Bears.
Yeah.
I can't wait to do it again.
I want to say, don't be surprised when you find out we have season tickets, but like, really, how many things are we going to do? We've already got 2 APs. We said we're going in on both SeaWorld and the Space Center. There's only so much we can do. But
we can get a partial season. We can get a 5-game package.
Count me in.
5 or 10 game package.
Count me in.
We can do it.
This was great. This was so much fun.
Let's talk about something else that was a ton of fun. For my father's birthday, we had them come on out from the West Coast, meet in the middle.
They have become such seasoned Disney adults. I'm so proud.
Yeah. We met in the middle at the Polynesian.
Well, this all stemmed from, we talked about last time how we met them at the Wilderness Lodge, and they were both so blown away by the hotel. I had said I bet they would love the Polynesian just because your dad is the definition of I'm on island time. And I was not wrong.
No. He, as soon as he got there, was, wow, look at this place. It was exactly what I wanted it to be. We went to Kona Cafe. We had a really great lunch.
He was blown away by the pot stickers.
I mean, who isn't?
We doubled down on the order because we know they're popular and we know they're amazing. But when they brought them out and they look like, a frittata on the plate because they're all connected by that crispy cheese on the bottom.
I don't think it's cheese. I thought it was. I don't think it is. I think it's a batter. I think they make almost like a tempura batter.
I thought it was too, and then you said it was cheese. So I'm just going by what you said.
Back in the day, but when I had it, unless they changed it, it is possible that they may have changed it.
Whatever. That layer of crispiness is what
so good.
Holds all of them together, and his eyes lit up when they were placed in front of him.
And the sauce. Oh.
Yeah, you guys got your burgers. You really enjoyed them. Your mom got the steak salad, which looked unbelievable.
She loved it.
And then I got my banh mi, which is always just amazing.
And then we took them on a monorail pub crawl.
Of sorts.
And my dad was so excited to be on the monorail because he hasn't been on it in 30 years. He really got a kick out of it. And then
Well, worth noting, we took them to Outer Rim because we thought the views would be so great. They frosted or they put like a sticker.
Frosted. It looks
like a
frosted
decal
glass.
that looks like frosted glass so that you can't see all of the construction that they're doing for the new resort. You can see a crane, but from the way that they position this decal, you can't see what's actually being built below, which is smart, I suppose, but they broke ground.
Yeah, they did. And then they had to get back to Sarasota to their dog, so we took the time to go to Wailulu, have one more drink over there, because we were parked at the resort. So we figured, let's go, let's enjoy it. We had a really nice cocktail. We sat and enjoyed the atmosphere. Wailulu is such a great spot. The trade-off is that if you're not dining if you don't have a dining reservation at the Poly, you're going to have to park at TTC and walk over, or leave
awful.
Magic Kingdom and take the monorail over, which also isn't awful. It's a quick walk. But it's totally worth it, though.
To me, that's the play, though. If you're not staying at the resort, make the Kona reservation and try and line up Wailulu for fireworks, because that's the way to go.
Yeah, nightcap there after a
I
meal.
definitely want to try and do that at one point, but for what this was, to have the extra time to shoot over there and grab a drink after lunch, it was great. It was easier than going to Trader Sam's.
Agreed.
And we were going to take them to Trader Sam's. We really wanted to, but they had to get back for their dog before Trader Sam's even opened, so we couldn't. But this is a great alternative. If you rather than sit outside at Trader Sam's, I think sitting out at Wailulu is nicer.
Yeah, agreed. Let's talk about the Daytona 500. I've talked about it on the show for the last couple of years, basically since we moved here. I'm a tremendous NASCAR fan. It is a great fan experience. I have said before, if you're looking to do something off-site, and if you are a NASCAR fan and you can tag it on to this weekend, tag it on to this trip, do it. You won't be let down. I will say this. Big disclaimer. This year at the Daytona 500 was very different than the previous two that I attended. Now, last year, notwithstanding, it got rained out on Sunday, got pushed to Monday. But they still did the fanfare, the pomp and circumstance. They still did everything on the midway. And they did do that stuff yesterday. But it came at a bit of a trade-off, which was necessary, which I agreed with. I wish NASCAR would have been a little bit more forthcoming with what to expect. If you go to the Daytona 500, you're used to taking 5, at most 10 minutes to get through security, get inside, and enjoy the venue. But
I'm not sure what you were expecting. Like, to me, I would have left the extra hour.
I did leave an extra 2 hours. Let me finish it. For those that may not know, President Trump was at the Daytona 500, and obviously that comes with a more complicated process. And this is how it should be for any president. I'm going to put that out there. This is not a conversation about politics. Sad that I have to say that, but, and preface it that way, but it's the world that we live in. This is not a conversation about politics. I say this about Trump the way I would say this about Kamala had she been elected. They are the president of the United States. Especially after what we saw in Butler in July. Everybody deserves to be safe, but the president of the United States, or a presidential candidate, you need to make sure that they are safe.
And they need to be protected at all costs, no matter who it is.
Correct. So NASCAR had let everybody know ahead of time, leave plenty, their words, plenty of time to enter the venue. So I was with a few friends. We did want to see Pitbull was doing a pre-race concert. So we left about an hour to get inside. Like I said, usually it's 5 or 10 minutes. You would think an hour was enough time. I was excited for Pitbull. I was excited to see Anthony Mackie because he was the Grand Marshal and he was giving the order of drivers start your engines.
Perfect timing, by the way, for the release of the movie this weekend. He's surprised because he was in town. He surprised audiences at Disney Springs who were watching the movie. We are going to get to that very soon, so you'll hear our thoughts on it.
Needless to say, I missed the first 5 to 10 minutes of the race. and saw none of the pomp and circumstance inside because it took 2.5 hours to get in. Now look, when I think about the tragedy that happened in Butler, when I think about the tragedies that have happened in California and in North Carolina, at the end of the day, I'm at the Daytona 500. I left safe. My friends left safe. The other patrons, the fans.
200,000 people left safe.
Our president left safe. All of this was necessary, and it's a first world problem to complain about the wait time. I'm not going to complain about the wait time because everybody was safe, and they did the right thing because you had Secret Service there, and they were very, 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 very detailed with going through everybody's belongings, as it should be. But I wish that NASCAR would have been a little bit more forthcoming and had said, expect 2 to 3 hours to get inside the venue. Had they said that, I would have gotten there 3 hours early, not an hour early. But you know what? The race was great. I missed 4 laps. It's not the end of the world. Entertainment-wise, the race was phenomenal. The atmosphere was top-notch. The work done by those who work at Daytona International Speedway to give you a great experience was over the top. The Secret Service, they did their job the right way. The fact that I'm sitting here today and saying, I missed Pitbull. I can go see Pitbull again. I missed 4 laps. Okay, but I watched 300 other, 196 other laps I didn't miss. The long and the short of this, my friends, is go to the Daytona 500. And if the President of the United States is going to be there, give yourself 3 hours to get in. That would be my suggestion to you. But it was so cool to be there again. I can't wait to go to the race in August, and already starting to plan for next year for the Daytona 500. We are going to take a little pause, though, because, as you know, I had to work Valentine's Day, so we didn't get a chance to enjoy Valentine's Day, celebrate it.
Territory, it's okay.
So we are going to enjoy Valentine's Day right now. We're going to have a lovely meal over at Morimoto Asia. Then we are going to do a little Disney Springs snack crawl. Worth mentioning, there's some locations are doing Celebrate Soulfully for Black History Month. Some are doing Valentine's Day through the end of the month.
Some Valentine's Day ended right on the 14th.
Yes.
Some are doing a month long. So we're going to kind of see what we can get. We're going to take it as it comes at us.
Correct. We just enjoyed a wonderful dinner at Morimoto Asia. Never disappoints.
It almost did, because they were out of ribs. Just to give you an idea. You remember how we said it wasn't that crowded? I stand corrected, because if Morimoto started running low on ribs, you know it's a bit busy. However, they came through. When we initially put in our order for the appetizer, they told us it was going to be about a half hour for the ribs, so not sure how we decided
painfully
to do this.
Declined
Yes.
the wait.
And we were about to put in our entrees, and they were like, nope, there's more ribs. And we were like, okay, send them, please. It wouldn't have been a trip to Morimoto without those ribs.
Correct. And we did something a little different. We did mostly apps as a meal.
We've been pivoting quite a bit for the rest of this evening, yeah. Usually I'll get I think last time I was there I got a ramen, or I'll get like a lo mein. There was the one time they had the special, it was the pork with the gochujang sauce, and I will forever sing the praises of that dish. But yeah, we went a little rogue. We each got dumplings. You had chicken, I had pork. They were pretty standard. If I'm being honest, I thought they were going to put more of the Morimoto spin on them, and it was going to be some sort of elevated dumpling. Presentation was nice in the steam basket.
Yeah.
But nothing that really wowed me.
I mean, the flavor was there, but it was nothing that you couldn't have gotten at any Japanese restaurant, Chinese restaurant. It definitely wasn't as elevated as most of the other menu, but it was still good.
It was good, but not better than our local, our local Asian joint.
Right. That sauce, though.
Yeah. You poured it all over your rice because you got a side of rice. And then I got the Kung Pao cauliflower as my side. That was excellent. Little heat on it, but the flavor was absolutely unreal. But we did eat light. for the purpose of saving room for snacking. So we walked down to Summer House, tried to walk off some of the meal. They were unfortunately out of the Valentine's Day cookie offering, which looked like a Linzer tart, a heart-shaped Linzer tart.
However,
we pivot.
We pivoted because as we were getting ready to leave, Jackie said, ooh, snickerdoodle. And I said, ooh, pina colada.
So in the name of research.
Yeah, in the name of research, we're going to start with the pina colada cookie.
If you like pina colada and getting caught in the rain.
This smells incredible. Cheers.
It does. Cheers. Oh, my God. Oh, yeah. It smells like a pineapple.
Oh, wow.
That's really good. So good bubble ones. Now it tastes like soap.
Chunks of pineapple. Shaved coconut on a perfectly baked soft cookie.
It's soft, but it's crispy.
This is insane.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Lord. I'm shocked.
That's really good.
This is so good.
It is a little greasy, though. Just for the sake of full disclosure, I got a little bit of oil on my
It is a
hands.
buttery cookie, I will say that.
Yeah.
But wow.
I'm going to try the snickerdoodle while we have the recorder running.
Yeah, I can see the look on your face.
Holy Christmas. This is amazing.
Hang on. I'm finishing my pina colada. All right, let me give this a try. Oh, yeah. Holy cinnamon.
Yeah. But
That's
not
really
overpowering.
good.
This is just, oh my God. That's one of the best snickerdoodle cookies I've ever had, actually.
So, originally, we got 2 cookies. We split them each in half and then broke it into quarters so we could each have a taste. Because we do have a few more stops to make on our snack crawl tonight.
The rest is breakfast tomorrow.
I feel like we should just make the decision now. I'll take the pina colada and you'll take the snickerdoodle. The snickerdoodle is unbelievable.
It's great. Here's the thing. I know I can bake a snickerdoodle cookie. Like, I don't toot my own horn often, but like I know I can bake pretty decent. I go do a snickerdoodle cookie, but this is better than anything I can do because of the consistency. And usually, you know, you make them a little bit smaller. They're more compact. To have a cookie this large and not have it overpowering.
Yeah. I see what you mean.
That's a tough bake, and they kill it.
Well, while it is not the Valentine's Day or soulfully snack that we anticipated it would be,
Not sorry.
not sorry, and we are off to a very strong start. Sitting outside, you guessed it, the ganachery, but we did make one stop before we got here. We decided we were just going to sit in one place and enjoy all of these snacks. We went to Vivoli Il Gelato.
You went to Vivolio Gelato.
I went to Vivoli Il Gelato to get the Love Potion, which is basically, it's like an ice cream float with strawberry Fanta.
I really can't believe that you who claims you don't have a sweet tooth, that's what you went for. That thing is just a pink sugar bomb.
Well, let's see if it's any good.
The presentation is cute. It comes in, you know, your standard to-go coffee, but it's got a little Be Mine print on it. It's very cute. It's got pink sprinkles, but it looks like Barbie's dream concoction.
You know what? It's really good.
Really?
When you mix the ice cream, Fanta. No, see, here's the thing, because I thought the same thing you did. The Fanta, it's just going to be too much. But when you mix the gelato in, and they do have really good creamy gelato.
They have great gelato, but my thing is I don't always want a Fanta.
Try this.
All right.
The gelato is so rich, it cuts the Fanta. The Fanta almost becomes an accompaniment.
That's very sweet, but the texture is better than I thought it was going to be. It's definitely more root beer float than shake. No, that's pink. It just tastes like pink.
I think this is delicious.
All right.
Well,
here's my offerings.
Okay.
I know you don't love red velvet, so that was this month's pop, chocolate on a stick, whatever you want to call it.
From the ganachery.
So I got one of those from the ganachery, and then I got us the chocolate cherry squares. So we each have one of these, and then you can taste the red velvet pop. But I knew you were not going to realistically eat a whole one, which is fine, because you have a whole Fanta to get through, because I'm not having any more of that.
All right. Let's see.
All right.
So, traditional chocolate squares.
Very cute. Heart pattern all over it.
Cheers.
Cheers.
You said chocolate cherry.
Yeah. Oh. So I wasn't expecting the cream on the inside. I thought it was going to be all like a cherry, like a liquid.
Right.
That's really good.
Is this the 65% dark chocolate that they use? Tastes like it.
I believe so. Well, it's definitely not milk chocolate.
It's crispy on the outside, like actually crispy on the outside.
Mm-hmm.
Smooth and creamy on the inside. Black cherry, which I like. It doesn't have that chemical maraschino cherry taste to it.
Flavor is really nice.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, I should have opened this before you hit record.
Look, it comes with instructions now.
Twist and pull.
They must have figured it out.
Twist and pull how? This looks like it's upside down. Twist and pull how? Oh, wait. Okay, hold on.
Unless that was twist and pull, and that's the instructions for how they seal it, not how they open it.
I should have started this before we hit record.
Here, let's trade. Yeah, they left
or
there.
Or I can try and get in from the top. We've made that happen before, too.
That might be the move. That may be the play here. So,
come on, you're going to make these easy for children.
There you go. You got it.
Okay, I got it. I'm in. I'm in.
For those who, if you know, you know, and if you don't know, the ganachery seals these cake pops / Cocoa Pops, whatever you want to call them, in such a way where they are almost impossible to open.
No, and we always make this mistake of not, pre-tearing it before we hit record, and then our poor listeners have to suffer through the madness. Okay, all right.
You got it.
I got it. I'm in. All right, so this is the red velvet. You want to try?
You can go first. You're the bigger red velvet person than me.
Sure am.
Again, nice presentation on it. It almost looks like Neapolitan ice cream. Like the inside and wrapped in a chocolate looks like Neapolitan.
The inside, it's got a layer of the red velvet and a layer of the cream. It tastes like red velvet cheesecake. That's good, though. Not my favorite offering from them. Like, there have been ones that we like better, like the key lime. And what was the Encanto one? I remember loving that.
What was this? Was that cinnamon? Wasn't it like a, or was it a de leche?
I think it might have been the dulce de leche. This is very good, just not my favorite. Not sorry about it, though. I like this better than the Fanta drink, that's for damn sure.
That's a fair trade, because I like the Fanta drink better.
Well, you enjoy that.
It is good, but I am not a tremendous fan of red velvet. So this is slightly lost on me. I think the cream cheese frosting that they're giving you the profile of is where you're getting the cheesecake. It's good.
Yeah.
It is good. I'm glad you did not get me a whole one to myself. I enjoyed the chocolate cherry more than I enjoy this.
That was kind of my thought process. Next time we're here, if they still have them, the Soulfully offering, it's a chocolate-covered praline, and I was so tempted to get it, but I was like, how much are we going to do here? So we're going to have to save that one for next time. But they look bonkers good.
Yeah. Well, thank you all so much for joining us this and every week on Monoreel Radio. Don't forget, we have a straw charm from our friends over at Hidden Mickey Supply Co. to give away, and I'm going to give it away to the first person who DMs me, or us, or emails us the word apology, because I'm not letting that go. So the first person that DMs us or emails us the word apology,
I deserve that.
will get a straw charm courtesy of Hidden Mickey Supply Co. Again, thank you all so much for joining us this and every week. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and rate us on your podcast platform of choice. Be sure to follow us on all forms of social media at Monoreel Radio, and to links to everything, you can find that at monoreelradio.com. For Jackie, I'm Sean. Have a magical week, everyone.